You see, when I was 19 years old, I sat on a panel for a room full of high school students. And a woman in the room stopped me in the middle of speaking and she said, I'm sorry to stop you, but I just want you to know that you are so articulate. And in that moment, she meant it as a compliment. A friend of mine next to me was like, boo. And I was offended. And most people can understand that. Most people say, well, you were offended because you're a young Black woman in this space and this woman found it exceptional that you were mastering standard English. But there's another reason why I was offended. I imagined if this woman heard me speaking with my family who's Trinidadian in Caribbean Creolized English, would she have determined something else about my intellectual capacity? Or if she heard me speaking with my friends in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, in African American English, would she have determined something different about my worth? And in that moment, I understood that the answer was yes. Who am I as a student? Who am I as an educator in the space? And what does that mean in our world? And it's not just a random awareness, but an awareness of the social identities that we each navigate, including the language practices that we bring to the table. So that I get to say, well, actually, I speak African American English, I speak Caribbean Creolized English. There are multiple ways that I understand and articulate and name the world around me, right? The first A is that awareness, thinking about who you are and what your linguistic repertoire consists of. The second A speaks to agency and access. You see, once you understand who you are, once you understand the privileges that are associated with different aspects of who you are, or the way that who you are is marginalized in different ways, once you get a full understanding of what that means in our communities, a lot of young people, I work with a lot of young people who engage in African American English practices, but have no idea that it has value. Because they've been taught that it's wrong, that it's bad, that it's delinquent, that it's deficient. Once you go through that awareness process and you become aware that my language has power, right? Once you become aware of that, then you say, well, what kind of agency and access exists for me in the world? Because of the way that I speak, because of the tools that I bring to the table with my linguistic repertoire, there are spaces that I can access in the world. There's agency that I can have. That was the argument for Barack Obama's ability to access and bond with different communities because he could speak in different ways.